My name is Basil. Thank you for coming in, and let's talk about why you're here. So tell me, what brings you here?
Okay, I was brought here by the professor that I have class with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he said that I disrupt the class because apparently the door I close it 5 times, but I need to. So
Mm-hmm.
like when I enter the room and he says it disturbs class.
Mm.
And kids have, I mean, other students have complained about
Mm.
me annoying them or like
Mm.
disrupting class, that they can't concentrate. They said I click my pen, which is,
Mm.
I mean, I need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that 5 times.
Mm. Okay. So what do you think about this? Do you think you agree with your coach or your teacher or that it disrupts the class or?
Might make some noise, but it has to happen. That like
Mm-hmm.
you can't not do it. Like I
Okay.
can't do it 4 times. It has to be 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how it really disrupts class, but
Okay.
it does make noise,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to do it.
All right, but you noticed that your teacher said that it disrupts the class, but for you it's either it makes noise, but because it has to be 5 times, so it's not enough to disrupt the class
Yeah.
or to be stopped or to not be done 5 times.
No, it has to be 5 times. It's
Mhm.
just the same as in like if you stand up and chair moves, that makes noise. So
Mhm.
I don't see the problem with my pen making noise because
Right.
it's the same. If someone walks, it makes noise.
Right, right. You see it more of a consequence of what happens like in daily life anyway,
Yeah,
and everything
because
makes
it
noise.
has to happen 5 times.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that. When you say it has to happen 5 times, how does it have to happen 5 times?
I need to when I pick up my pen,
Mm-hmm.
I have to like click it 5 times, and
Okay.
it turns on and off, and then I can start writing.
Okay. And is there a specific way you need to click it, or is there a specific time only when you're in class, or is it every time that it?
Every time I pick up my pen,
Uh-huh.
but in class, that's
When you
when
pick.
I have my pen.
Okay. So tell me more about it. What happens? Have you ever tried it 4 times?
No.
Okay.
I
So what?
refuse to do 4 times.
All right.
It's no. Like something bad might happen if I do it 4 times or 6 times. What if then my pen runs out of ink, or if
Okay.
something like I walk into the door or something
Yeah.
next time?
Yeah. And how long do you think that your teachers have complained about this? Is it recently they started complaining?
They've always like told me to stop doing it, but I can't stop doing it, and I've always done it, so I don't see why it should be a problem now.
Okay.
Or why they make me come here now.
Right, right. I mean, this is something that is normal, at least for you, and it's been going on all your life, so it doesn't make sense that how is it disrupting class now? It's just noise, right?
Yeah, and it was fine like in the other year. They didn't make me come here to talk about it. So I don't see why now suddenly it annoys them.
What do you think? Why do you think this annoys them now?
I don't know. There's maybe there's more kids this class than before, but it's and it's the last year before graduating. Maybe I don't see why it's a problem, but it seems to annoy the professor. It
looks like they want you to change now. It's like the last year of school, and they're looking for something different now because it never bothered them before. And now you're graduating, so it looks like they're trying to make you do this now.
Yeah, and I haven't had this lecture before.
Uh-huh.
So it's this one person that is more like excessively like annoyed and telling me to stop it.
Okay.
And giving me like punishments of writing essays and stuff. And then he gets annoyed at me writing my essay.
Why?
Because I guess I'm clicking my pen again.
Okay. I see.
Whilst writing.
So it's not just like when you're taking notes, but anytime when you're with people, And when you have to click your pen 5 times, you think that people seem to have a problem with that.
Whenever I pick up my pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not when I actually have to pick up my pen and start writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's every time I pick my pen that I have to write. Click
Okay. Okay. And you're talking about your friends and your teachers. So tell me more about them. How does it feel when you're not doing an assignment? How are you with them?
Now my friends, they probably got used to it because they don't complain about me doing that. But no, it's there's other things that they do complain about, not the pen or anything.
Like what?
If like their clothes like deranged, like color is not correct or anything, I have to put it correct, like fold it over correctly, make sure that there's no wrinkles and stuff. And some of them really hate me then touching them, and they have told me to stop, but I can't stop it because it has to be good. Because something bad might happen to them or to me, and no.
What would be something, an example of what might happen if, let's say, this person comes in and their shirt is all messed up, one of their buttons is here, which should have gone here, or one of their sleeves is rolled up, one of them is not. What do you think will happen to this person?
Like it's not, like it doesn't give a good impression to other people anyway, and if someone then thinks that they don't take care of themselves, someone might steal something from them because it might be easy to take something from them because they didn't pay attention to it. And then what if something gets stolen from them and then they can never find it back, and it's
And you've never let that happen,
I've
right?
never let it happen because I watch out for them and it has to be good.
Right. So you've never have you noticed been in any situations where something bad happened to someone?
I once saw someone with like whose clothes were like buttoned up wrong, and they walked into a door and they had like this really bloody nose.
Oh boy. Okay. And that's the most of. What about other memories that you have about people going through these bad things? They're getting their stuff stolen, or they're getting hit on by something, or something wrong is happening. Do you notice that a lot, or?
I remember when I was younger, I saw like someone like 3 times after each other, they like picked up a pen and then either like dropped it, and then it was a pencil maybe or something it dropped and then broke. The tip fell off, or the ink kept running out, and there was this one person whose ink or their pen constantly runs out, and on an exam no one else had a spare.
Okay.
And so you're right.
That's what you've noticed, right? That when they're not following it in a specific way, something wrong is always happening to them.
They don't do the clicking or anything like that.
And it's the same. If you do the same as them, then the same should happen to you. Or what
I need to have the clicking so that my pen will not run out in like a moment that I need it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about class activities, because we're in school, you're in school, and there's a lot of activities that you need to do, especially with other students. Sometimes it's in groups, and the teacher tells you what to do. And how do you feel about that?
For me it's just normal. So for me there's no problem, but it really annoys them, so they don't allow me to write because then I have a pen. But it really, I can't stand it then because they are not clicking their pen.
Okay, so it also bothers you, not just if you're not doing it because, well, you have to, right? But if they're not doing it, then it also bothers you.
I want to also join in because they don't let me then actually participate.
Right.
But they really don't allow me to then have the pen because they know stuff.
Well, what about sports? That I know that you're interested in football.
Yeah.
And we have our coach here, football coach. So
the
how are you with him?
Complain trains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I heard from one of my friends that he's one of the people that said I had to come here.
Oh, okay.
Like one of the moments he yells at me mostly is when we have to run around the track,
Mm-hmm.
and he tells us to run one lap, but I have to do it like. But then everyone has to run in line, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to run like maybe two and a half laps.
Is it like a punishment that you have to do two and a
No, I
half
have
laps?
to run two and a half laps, but I'm only allowed to run one,
Uh-huh.
and I can't do that. And if it's like three, it has to be right until the stripe of the half.
So what happens if it's not like that? When your coach just denies and says that no, you have to run, what would happen if you agreed with him?
No, I can like trip over my feet and like full face burst into the ground, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and if I don't do it, he gives me punishments. I have to do like push-ups and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and no, I have to do the 2.5, so I have to do another push-ups.
And what about the other people? Should they also run two and a half, or it's okay for them to run one?
No, they also have to do that, and they have to run in line, like
Run in
everyone
line.
in line, but they run all over the place, and they're not
Mhm.
running inside the lines of the
Mhm.
track.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, let's talk about group homework. So I know that this school gives a lot of group homework where you have to come up with assignments, ideas, and you're working together on the same project, and then you have to, like, for example, science fair, and you have to come up with that. So tell me about last year's science fair. How did that go for you with your group mates? Group of 5 people, I think.
There was a lot of like arguments because of what I was doing, just like disagreements, but I can't not do it, so
Mm-hmm.
I never stopped what they were complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of complaining, and they tried to change group so that we wouldn't be in my group,
Mm-hmm.
but no, we had to stay together and do the group, and I had to
Okay.
do what I did because I can't not do it.
And what about the ideas that they were giving to the group? What did you think about those ideas?
They were not good enough. It had to be like they were not listening to my suggestions, but it had like they were what had to happen.
Uh-huh. What do you think about their suggestions? Why are they not good enough, as you say?
They didn't make sense, and like they wouldn't have worked out for the project we were doing, and it had to be done by the way my suggestions were for the project.
And they did not like your suggestions?
No, they wanted like to do some of their things as well. Some of them, my suggestions were used in the project, but not all, and it would have been much better if it had used my suggestions first.
All of your suggestions?
Yes, if it had happened according to my plan for the project.
Do you see it just for this science fair, or does it happen in other projects as well, homeworks projects?
Also, yeah.
What about, like, okay, so this is a science project and I know that it's important to you. So what about when you said you mentioned that you have a couple friends. So what about when you go and hang out with them, or if you decide to go to a mall or anywhere you hang out? How does that work?
My friends, they don't really complain about it. They let me do the clicking of the pen or the fixing of their clothes. Except for one, she doesn't really like it when there's like contact, so she would like snap my hand away. But also when I leave the house, I have to close the door again 5 times, and they just let me do that.
Okay. So who's usually the one who's coming up with ideas in your for hanging out with your friends, like, let's do this, let's do that? Who's that person who usually?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your last hangout like? Could you describe that to me?
We went to the movies first. We bought popcorn, salted popcorn, with a large sort of popcorn and then a Coke, and each of us has one. And then
Okay.
afterwards we go have dinner, and it has to be at Burger King.
Mm-hmm. And why does it have to be at Burger King?
Because that is what you have to do after going to the cinema.
Okay.
And that, yeah.
All right. So you have to go
you
to
have
Burger
to go
King,
there, yeah.
and if you don't go there, what if you went to McDonald's
then it's
that
not
night?
a good day. Then it's not how I had planned the day to go, and it has to happen that way.
Uh-huh. And do all your friends like salted popcorn with one Coke and large? Do all of them eat that much? Is it all of their preference?
They all eat part of it, but they sometimes buy some extra for themselves, or they will not join in and eat.
Uh-huh.
But most of them will eat.
Okay, that's good. So I want you to talk to me about what do you think that your friends want. So you know that maybe uh, they should eat salted popcorn when you go to the movies.
Yeah.
And they should have large size, and they should have one Coke. And when you go to the movies, after that you must go to Burger King to eat dinner. And tell me, what do you think that specific friends of yours, how do you think they want things? Do you happen to know that?
I've heard them try to suggest other things to do, maybe go and eat pasta or something, but I don't comply to that. But they have tried giving other suggestions of doing other things, or they want cookies for a change instead of popcorn or sweets, but it has to be the popcorn and Burger King.
So you don't think that cookies are a good idea, or pasta is a good idea?
You don't need cookies in the cinema.
You don't need cookies
No,
in the
yeah,
cinema?
it has to be still popcorn.
What about pasta? Is it a good idea to?
You can have pasta, but not after going to the cinema. So the cinema has to be the Burger King.
The Burger King. Okay, I hear you. So when you go to the movies, it has to be Burger King. And it's not just for you, it's also a good idea if they have Burger King after movies.
Yeah.
And do they sometimes think that something else is a better idea?
Yeah, they want to give other suggestions.
And
so they've maybe tried to say...
Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they even want to eat pasta after movies? It has to be Burger King, right?
It has to be Burger King, yeah. So they say they fancy something else, or they don't want to eat burgers again. And
why would they want that?
They say they want the other flavor, less salty food.
Right.
Because they say they have salt popcorn. But it has to be the Burger King. So if they don't join, then I go along, because I have to go there. And they have to go, but I can't always make them go with me.
Okay. But if it's movie night, then you have to go to the movie, and you have to go to Burger King, and you still have to carry that whole thing out.
Yeah. And they always take the same order there.
Okay. The same route as well? Do you go by the same route when you go to the theater?
Yeah, it's in the same building, so it's just the floor.
Okay, that's easy. How do you get yourself there from the theater to the Burger King?
The stairs.
Stairs. What about the elevator?
The elevator, no.
Why not?
You can't take the elevator.
Why not?
It's further away, so it's better to take the direct route to the Burger King, and the shortest route there, which is then the stairs, and you have to take them just every step. You have to take every step. You can't take them by two.
So what happens if, have you ever tried, or have you ever seen anyone taking 2 steps, or taking the elevator and taking longer route instead of taking the stairs, which is the shorter route?
Once they made me go the longer route, and then I tripped and I fell face first into a pole.
That's not a good feeling.
No.
Right, yeah, I can't imagine that. So, and other people, do you still see people taking the elevator in the theater when they go down to Burger King? You meet the same people that you saw are watching the same movie as you. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And
then they are like doing it the wrong way, something bad must happen to them. Then if it hasn't happened yet, later it will happen.
Mm. Okay. And tell me, how did you feel like when your teacher told you that you should come here?
I'm very confused because there's nothing wrong, so I don't see what I have to talk about.
Mm. And you see that they are saying that it's disrupting the class. Maybe it's disrupting when you're taking labs, as your coach said. You said.
He says it spurs other students on. He has like had an entire
Mm-hmm.
not speech but like
Mm-hmm.
talk with me, and he was angry, and he said it was spurring the other students on to
Mhm.
also like rebel against. And he says rebel against him, but I'm not
Uh-huh.
rebelling against him. I'm doing what has to happen.
Right. So you're seeing it as
I'm just being like
It
a
is
student
something
and
that-
doing what I have to do.
yeah, you have
and
to
then
do it,
He
but
says
he's seeing it as
I'm
a.
making people rebel against him.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that we're running short of time, but perhaps we can talk more. Uh, let's say if you want to come, we could talk more, and I'll make sure that I'll click my pen 5 times next time. So before I write, and if
Yeah.
you feel comfortable,
Yeah, it
then we
was
can.
getting on my nerves.
Okay.
so
I'm sorry about.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
That was so interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool because like it started with just school, but then you guys talked about a lot of other things, which I think is good because sometimes like they come in and you're not prepared, you don't really know what, like, yeah, they might be sent here by the teacher and stuff,
Mhm.
but it's unpredictable,
Yeah.
which I thought was like, oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, the Burger King with the stairs. Yeah, so for
Yeah.
me it was like, oh, okay, it's quite cool to see how you like manage, and then it was really good because it was like everything that she said, you had like something to follow up against, and it seemed like you were really like following whatever she was saying.
Yeah,
So-
like you picked up on everything.
Yeah, I
said,
was
and
like,
if I said
whoa!
something and then you asked one thing, you came back on.
Yeah, and it was, wow, for me, okay, it was good. It was nice to watch, but yeah.
What about things I can improve on? I noticed that there was one point where I said that, and it was in the first 5 minutes probably, and I was like, does that make you feel good when you do this? So I was suggesting rather than asking her, how does that make you feel?
I don't know
One
about
I
point.
didn't even notice that.
At
I
one
don't-
point I noticed that.
I don't know about like the clicking pen thing though, because like for me I was, oh, but then you're kind of like feeding her
Yeah.
compulsion.
The last
Yeah, I was like,
comment.
I don't know if I would say that, because then like I'm just trying to imagine that she just one day she comes in and you didn't do it,
Mhm.
because we're trying to help her
Yeah.
recognize that, hey, this is actually not okay, like
It's not
And you're, it's
facilitative.
Yeah.
bring the idea that you're like on my side.
yeah, and then like she might feel like, oh, you betrayed me, like
Yeah.
I thought my therapist was on my side, like he would do it too, like
Okay.
you see, and then now like he doesn't do it, so
Yeah.
but overall I thought like it was really good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be tricky what I played with the pen.
Yeah, because
Thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it was also good because like that's the thing with OCD is that you don't really like it's very unpredictable, and it's in a lot of areas,
Yeah.
and like but this is OCPD.
This is OCPD,
Yeah.
so it's
And
gonna
she-
start.
Yeah, she wants it to be this way, which is
Mm-hmm.
why when you said I was, oh, it could be hard for her because then it's a personality.
Yeah, it's personality.
Yeah, but the questions you asked were really good, and it seemed like you really followed through. Like
Mm-hmm.
till the end, it was like started with school and sports, and then like the movies, the
Hanging out with
stairs,
friends.
the hang out with the friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the shirt, I was, oh, okay, there's a lot. So
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to even go to her house and ask questions about that. But
it's a
I
lot. I
couldn't
was
get
like,
there.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. What about you?
How do you feel? Sorry, it must feel so drained. From like two different, like completely different
Panic
things.
attacks. and
Yeah, and this is like, yeah, it has to be this way. Panic attacks,
It's
like,
difficult.
I don't want it to be this
Yeah, I don't want
way.
it to
It's
be
difficult
this
because you
way.
don't have it yourself. So I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
what
Cooking
is
up
such a,
stories.
what does this person feel like
Yeah.
this character I'm taking on?
Yeah.
But I felt like you did a really good job
Yeah, I
though,
think you
because
did
it
a
was
good
like, it felt believable, at least
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
What did you think about the whole session?
It definitely like it seemed like you were like really with me, with the listening, and that you just like continued the conversation.
So it was easy to
And
follow for
if
you
I
as
was
well?
in the character, I didn't feel like judged or like it was wrong.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Woo! Time.
Time.
Done.